from the UFC. You're watching the Fight Week show. Please subscribe. Not now, but right now. Subscribe to the Fight Week show. We'll see you guys on the road soon.
What's happening, Fight Week show fans, Fight Week show people? Then me and Naz are back for another episode of DUSD Dust Up Shake Down. Yeah, that's right. We are here to break down all the things that happened in MMA over the last week. And whilst the dust is settling, we unpick it, we dissect it, we look at what's happening. Probably, you know what I mean, add a little bit of matchmaking here and there. Let's say, you know what I mean, just try and predict the future a little bit. But helping me do all of that right now is my brother Naz, man. How you doing, Naz?
Big up, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good on all sides of sports and watching these MMA now. I'm happy now that we've got 4 months straight of Saturday nights. But boy, the missus ain't going out on a Saturday night for a while. Jeez.
Bro, you know, it's why we're called Fight Week, you know what I mean? It's why we're called the Fight Week show, man, you know, because we've got something to talk about every week, man. And
every week. MMA, man.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about what's really fresh in our mind, and then, you know, we'll go back because we missed out on last week's topic, so we're gonna add that towards the back end of the show.
Right.
But let's begin with what's really in the news. John Jones and Francis Ngannou, them two man squared up. Them two man
at PFL,
at the PFL event. And the PFL owner was stood right there, smiling from ear to ear. You know what I mean? He was loving it. Bro, what did you make of that little clip there? If there's a possibility that fight could even happen, if there's a chance that UFC would even entertain, because I've seen Dana throwing spanners into the work a little bit over the last couple of days. But tell me what you think on that clip there. And,
I can never see that happening in a cross promotion way. But the only way I see that happening is if John Jones somehow gets released or fights out his contract, which I don't know if it's even possible. I believe he has 5 or 6 fights in his contract, so he's in a sticky situation, man. That fight there needs to happen somewhere in Africa. You know, them ones, no sanction, no rules, because it's not happening in the US with all those lawyers and all the contract that's meant to be iron print. You can't break that. It's legendary, the UFC contract. So I just don't see Dana White helping him out. If anything, I think things are going to go opposite. He'll try to get PFL off ESPN rather than help them get their contract renewed. And, you know, I know John Jones was there training his guy, Maurice Green, I believe, even though he lost. You know, he looked like a decent cornerman. He's already got one step out of the game. I just can't see it happening, unless UFC release him for, I don't know, hitting a couple of lines or something.
You know, that's a mad possibility, but nonetheless, it's not impossible. I like the fact that both of them squared up, but I've also heard Dana actively trying to get Tyson Fury up in this thing with John Jones.
He sent a real offer, apparently.
This is what I try to say. Dana's trying to actively throw a little spanner in that works. You know what I mean? And it's throwing the offers out there. What did you think of the offers? You know, Dana is offering. It's offering Tyson Fury. Do you think Tyson Fury would take it?
I reckon he threw him a big bone. And it was not the final offer. It's more like, so this is what we're starting around. I reckon some craziness, probably 70, 90 mil. And, you know, Fury will be like, should I do this one off, get my ass whooped in the UFC? And, you know, would it affect my future value? I don't know if he's thinking like that, because it's the only way he'll sign that contract. Even if they improve it to 100 mil, he knows he's going to get, you know, James Toney. He knows he's going to get slept. So he'll probably try and make it into a boxing thing if he does want to pursue it. But Dana White is flipping, just doing this out of PR and Ngannou spite.
I mean, Dana sometimes we know he be doing too much. You know what I mean? We know he says a lot of things as well that he doesn't really mean, because I don't think, because what Dana's offering now. And big up everybody in the chat, by the way. Salute to all of you, my Afro Thunder, Boss, Carl Rossi, I see you,
Big up,
Snoopy
Carl,
Triple
man.
G, Oyabo-san. Big up all of you, man. You're real.
You know.
For me, it's more of a case of Dana. The way Dana is offering him an MMA fight, bro. You know what I mean? Like Tyson Fury ain't about to jump in no cage, bro. You know,
Yeah, Fury, bro. Come on, man. That's
Tyson
embarrassing
Fury
for
ain't
him.
about to jump in no cage with no John Jones, bro. Like, come on. We're not even talking about Tyson Fury and let me see the worst rank heavyweight, MMA heavyweight in like
Now,
who's
don't beat him. You need to give him someone that just became a boxer to MMA. That's what he needs.
like there's no way he's going in there with fucking John Jones, man. Like it'll be quicker than Cyril Gane, bro. Like they will
I'm saying.
like
Bro,
unless John Jones just want to toy with him. If he's really serious and really, you know what I mean, just clinch man.
It'll be sick if they could have
and just pull
gentlemen's
his neck
agreement
off,
and do it. No grappling, MMA, UFC, but only boxing and 2 kicks around. I don't know, something like that. But obviously, it's not in the rules,
bro.
so you could break
2
that.
kicks around, one of them is obliquely and it's done, bro. You know, bro. You know who we're fucking with here? This is John Jones, bro.
Bones.
You know what I mean? Like we're not just talking about any old heavyweight or any old fucking fighter. We're talking John Jones here, man. And
no, Dana's D, as someone said. Yeah, he's just doing this out of weirdness, man. But yeah, kickboxing, as he said, the kicks will just break his knees. I know he has some knee issues in the past as well, Fury. So no, he don't want to oblique kick. That's it.
He don't want to be there. I mean, you know, John Jones ain't just anybody, man. And Fury will be off his fucking nuts to take
money has to
an
be
MMA
mad.
bout against fucking John Jones. It will be off his fucking trolley, man, to even accept it. You know, bro, I don't even think that's Fury. If you're listening, don't do it. They're just trying to bait you, man.
Do not fight John Jones. Don't go UFC. Stick to boxing, man.
They're just trying to bait you, man. Don't do it, man. Don't take it. Don't do it, man. You're gonna get hurt, bro. Do not do it. Okay. Jared Cannonier and Vettori. You see, bro.
The Orc.
We saw this coming because we did pick Cannonier for the win, but when we talk about somebody's jaw, someone's chin, the ability to, you know what I mean, big up Dante over there, man. The ability to just eat punishment and just keep walking forward. Like, bro, the significant strikes, the amount of punishment that Vettori ate in that Cannonier fight. What did you make of it? And the subsequent call out of Cannonier for Chimaev.
Honestly, that chin that he has, yeah, it's the scientists. I saw scientists break it down on YouTube. Like the neck, he has the short width between it, the thickness. The jaw is wide. The muscle on the head, he's got a strong back neck as well. Like he's built to take them punches. But that was real significant strikes. I don't trust significant strikes. They always get dissed. They always get taken apart. The person making the counts or whatever the systems use will sometimes counter jabbers. But they were actual significant, powerful strikes, most of them. There was one round, especially the second round, where he just teed off at a moment. I was like, how's Vettori not getting knocked? Is it purely because he's just got the will, he's got the scientific build, he's young? Yeah, what is it? I just, honestly, it's Vettori, I think that might give him some long-term damage. He should take a long break. He should not be fighting for a while. He needs to reassess his thing. As far as I'm concerned, he lost his last fight as well. You know, and he lost the one before that to my lookalike, Rob. Bro, he's not really he's not really done well the last 3 fights. But, you know, Cannonier, 10 years older than him. I can't believe someone at 39, who I said, because he's a heavyweight, he's got the heavyweight immunity. Heavyweights don't age till like 44. You know what I'm saying? He's got the heavyweight immunity. So he's at middleweight, but he's got that. He's going to carry on for a while. And obviously he's tuned in. He's dialed down. He takes his crazy medicinal herbs and salts, and he's so in tune with his body and diet. He's got a banging team around him. And the age of 39, though, I don't know. I just don't know if he could do it one more time. I could see him fighting the Paulo Costa. Hamzat Chimaev, he said he wants that straight away to be the number 1 contender fight. I also don't know if he would actually fight Chimaev. But that fight would be sick. I would pay good money for that one.
Yeah, man, that fight would be mad, bro. If Chimaev, I don't know if Chimaev will fight him. I think Chimaev wants to fight either the champion or at least one fight away from the champion.
And then there is one fight away from the champion if you knock him out. Because everyone that he's fought a lot of wrestlers, people that try to take him down, and he's fucked them over the most. It's the ones, Izzy got him, of course, but Sean Strickland, I thought Sean could beat him against striker match. But if you try to wrestle him like Borswell, like Chimaev, it's going to be hard. He's like a big black wall, bro. You just can't take him down. And like everyone has tried to implement wrestling has been grounded and pounded. Even Vittori.
Even Vittori. And we know how good Vittori's grappling is, We know how strong Vittori's grappling is.
When he was at welterweight in Bellator, all of Vittori fights were just grappling matches, basically. Fought Izzy the first time. Only later on did he develop, Rafael Correa got him out of that and he started becoming a striker. He should go back.
You're right, You are right. When you think about it and how good Cannoniers, take down defenses and often will force grapplers to start striking, you know what I mean? And they can't outstrike him when it comes to the striking thing. But his takedown defense is so good.
But Chimaev is giant now. He's 205 giant. He's 221. They said in Sweden he's picking up Alexander and chucking Gustafsson. I was like, this brother.
We're also talking about a brother that's retained power across 3 weight classes.
Yeah, he's also a flipping heavyweight if you think about it. Like he's definitely a big boy, kind of. He's probably 200 pounds.
It's gonna be a good fight, man. You know what? When you sprinkle the amount of salt he just did on it, right there. Yeah. He's making that fight there real tasty.
Dana will say to him, "It's a number 1 contenders fight," but if something happens, he might not make a number 1. Dana's a prick like that sometimes. He'll be like, "Oh, this is a number 1 contender fight." Like Benil Dariush. I was like, if Benil won it. If Gaethje or Dustin got a mad knockout and they wanted that fight, they would have got it. If Conor, I don't believe in Dana when he says number 1 all the time. Look at Sugar Sean. He was number 1 time ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? They still let man come in the middle, Henry. So I don't ever trust that. They're gonna say to Cannonier, if you win this, you get a title shot. Like the only way he'll get a title shot if he beats Chimaev somehow and he fights him would be if Izzy has to leave the division, Pereira has to knock out Jan, then he has to make a fight with Jamal. Then Izzy will be like, maybe I'll just go up and leave this belt vacant, let 2 new players fight for it. Rob versus Cannonier, number 2. I don't know about that, but if he beats Chimaev, and really I think Chimaev will beat him and then fight Rob. Izzy's going to avoid Chimaev. Chimaev beat Cannonier, Izzy's going up, bro. He's going up, man.
You're real, man. You're out of control. You're real, bro. I swear to God, man.
He's
out of control, man. Big up your real, my brother.
I've got his tattoos as well. I'm joking. Imagine I Whitaker's tattoos and I go around pretending to be the guy.
Oh shit, yeah, man. I love
it. Barbie, mate.
Big
I think Robert Whitaker's going to fight Chimaev for the vacant middleweight title when Pereira knocks out Blachowicz. Put that in your whatever. I don't know what Australia says.
Right. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Aman Sarukian. He's another one that gets a 3rd round finish. He gets a 3rd finish in the UFC with a TKO over Joaquin Silva. Now, when you look at the level of opponents, because it's one thing, look, you still gotta go and back the win. You still gonna do what you need to do. But when we look at the level of opponent that Joaquin Silva is this a surprise really to see Aman Sarukian get over the line with this guy?
There's not a lot of dive into Joaquin's his life, trying to find a way that he could beat Armin, and he just couldn't find it. He said, I couldn't find it. Like, I'm really looking for this. I think it was 11-1, some crazy odds like that. And
it was disrespectful, bro. Like, even if you saw those odds,
he put big money on Sarukian. He won like £50 on like a £300 bet. It's terrible, but all I'm saying is, he's a menace. He's one of the few people that went through fire. He doesn't want to pad up his record. And I think that Islam fight was close, but Islam would have made it look easy if it was 5 rounds. He would have won the last 2, and then it'd be like, but that 3rd round little fall, he could use that as a springboard to get back to the title. I want to fight Islam. I've given him more of a challenge than other Mandem have given him. So maybe one more win. He wanted Chandler out of everyone, bro. Michael waiting for Conor McGregor Chandler. This bread does not want to fight no one but Conor. I don't see him you know, fighting what's his name, Armin Superman. So you can remember his name's Superman. I was like, what kind of nickname? That made no sense for me. I'm like, what? I just didn't get it. I thought it'd be a better nickname. But yeah, man. What do you think, bro? Do you think he'll be in the title sooner or later?
I mean, I think they gave him this fight in a
He said no one
promise.
wants to fight him. He thanked his opponent. Thank you for fighting me.
I think they gave him this fight in a promise that if he gets past this one, obviously he's gonna be fighting the top fiver. So once he gets the top fiver, is just as much.
Who? Give me that top fiver. Who would do it? Gaethje loses to Dustin. Would he do it?
Maybe Beneil. He's always wanted to fight Beneil. Beneil's coming off a loss.
You
know what I mean? Beneil will be coming off a loss, and
Beneil
gets him there. You know, he did mention Beneil in his embedded video leading up to the fight. So you know, if he gets a name like that and do work, who knows? You know that because he's already fought Islam and
it was close,
and you know, and it was a close fight. So he wants to revisit that challenge, and someone like Beneil that's been touted to strong. Someone like Beneil that's been touted to really, you know, to really take Islam, you know, deep into a fight and not know what the outcome was going to be. It will be a good test for Ahmad Sarukian, but like you said, nobody wanted to fight him.
But he really wants Chandler. He thinks because he wants to fight now. He doesn't want to fight in 10 months when Gaethje or Beneil recover. He wants to fight now. He's like, Chandler's ready, primed. What are you waiting for? I'll take you in the end of summer. Let's go.
You know what?
For the red panties,
you've just taken us in a different direction right now, man. I'm big up for that little segue there, man, because we got to talk about Conor McGregor and his shenanigans. And
you know what's funny? I watched episode 4 today. Right? He looked so good. He lost weight. He had blood cupping all over him. It's like, bro, how can you have been into it in what was that, March, April, and now
when they were
going
recording
on July, he's fucking going into the NBA games, dragging Gal into the bathroom. Like, honestly, the fact that he's married is what really gets to me. I'm like, he's married with kids, bro. On the last episode of the Ultimate, I'm gonna give this to Junior. I'm gonna give this to whoever his name is. He's gonna give it to his kids and his uncle, cousins. I'm like, bro, how can you be playing the devil on one side and trying to act like a saint on the other, man? It's too much for me. And honestly, I know that they got videos of them before, after, during, after. He's talking to the girl afterwards as well. He's got videos of her. He's cool with her and shit. So you know, I know she wants some money, obviously, and the NBA's got to get involved.
I don't think what the girl's talking is true. I don't think
she should still get paid.
Yeah, she should still get paid for driving, obviously, for
embarrassing,
because all of this is clout chasing, and the way that look, the only problem is like the same way Balotelli says this. Why always you, blood? Why you, blood? You know what I mean? Like, why you all the time? I never hear nobody trying to fucking say Beneil Daouche drag them into the toilet to try and do something to them. I don't hear nobody say Do Bronx ever drag them into the toilet trying to do something to them.
You'll never hear that from
you know what I mean? I don't never hear nothing about fucking Leon Edwards dragging anybody into the toilet. You like, bro, why
this
always you?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And he's not even black, fam. At least if he was colored, they'll be like, yeah, get a gender. My man's got it all going in the wild, like
it's always him, bro. It's like
mocking it, bro. I swear down, his wife, I don't know how she's still with him after all these flipping multiple times. He's been mocking it.
I think we know why. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, the money.
I think we know why. I buy enough proper 12, man, to keep the wife out. You know, to keep the wife in the house. I put enough money in Connor's pocket, man. You know, I buy enough proper 12, man. We know why the wife is still at home, bro.
But bro, I'm telling you, man. He needs a new type of team that he has to pay them 10 years in advance.
And you know the worst thing as well. You know the worst thing, because now he's at this tough
which is done
where he spent so much time and always taking the coach. We talked about it in the preview, always taking the coach away from some of the fighters that really need him at SBG. Salute to Straight Blast Gym. Coach Kavanaugh is always out and they were with Connor. Look at someone like Richie Smalling, didn't really have the access, that he need Coach Kavanagh to be there. He's always out there with Connor, man, and sometimes is detrimental to the rest of the gym
Yeah,
members.
I know
You know
he
what I mean?
doesn't like this shit. The coach is like, I done all this sacrifice, and you just spite me by gaining 30 pounds and
Like he can't even,
knocking out
bro.
a mascot and beating up a girl, grabbing her by aggressively, and just not cool, man.
Yeah, man, and check this out. You dropped into the WhatsApp group the other day how Connor is not even in the testing pool for USADA to be able to fight this year at all. Like,
Of
what
course
are
not. He's
you
on the
making of
Charlie,
all of that?
fam. He's on the Charlie, he's on the whiff, he's on the smoke, he's on the good kush, he's on the drink that has some next little thing sprinkled in. Ain't because he's taking steroids. I don't think if he's taking steroids, that's flushed out. He's got the doctors for that. They've done that, fixed him, made him strong, all that cool. He lost all these weight, he gained half of it back now. This bread's done for, and he's 34 years old. Like, I'll beat him. I'm not even joking. I honestly think I'll beat Conor McGregor. I know I'm probably 40 pounds bigger than the guy, but still, like, this bread's completely lost it. Like, I don't know why. I can't. His next fight, he knows his next fight is the end of him. He knows he's going to get finished dirtily again for the third time in a row, and then he knows it's over on the UFC. No way he can get a title shot after the next fight. But it's funny, if he wins his fight, he gets a title shot. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely bonkers, man. And I love this brother. Look, inside the octagon, the build up, the talk, the whole everything. It's always wicked to fucking watch Conor.
Man. He used to be good. It's not good no more. It's definitely bullcrap.
Yeah, since the Dustin one, his material is gone down. Your wife is your husband, like, and
the
all
only
the
good thing he said was my wife DM.
Yeah,
and it was kind of us laughing at him, not laughing with him.
He went down the bit. He went down the bit there from the Dustin one. From the Dustin one, I wasn't really rating. You know what I mean? The trash talking thing no more, man. You know what I mean? From the Dustin thing, but it's something that he's always had there. You know what I mean? And the mental warfare, he's always had that there to be able to deal with things. But with Conor, it's always him that's in all these crazy battles with the law. You know, knocking out the old, or slapping up the old man in the pub, fucking throwing the dolly at the boss and people suing him.
There's bare other things like
phones in the street, fucking, you know. All right.
There's a million other stuff that happened that we don't even know about.
There's one time he did get run over on the bike. He did get run over still, you know what I mean? It might still be dealing with that trauma, bro.
He's like advantage. You try to make it look like I'm a nice guy when really you're meant to get angry and hit by a bike. It's natural. Let that energy out. He knew he was on camera. He's like, oh, don't worry, lad, drop into town. Like, nah, man, everything he does is just fake. I'm sorry, it's all for sales.
Yeah, and Carl Ross is saying here that apparently he's only engaged to the missus.
He's smart. He's He's smart, man. He's up there with Hakimi.
But yeah, man. You don't want to be divorcing and giving up half of that fucking giving up half of that property up, man. You know what I mean? While fucking what's his name? Artem Lobov is still trying to sue him for 100 million on that fucking proper 12.
That's crazy.
Pay Artem, man. We buy enough fucking proper 12 not to pay Artem. You know what I mean?
That sounds like Conor McGregor, bro. He's not gonna pay out Artem. Him and Artem are like, imagine your best friend your whole life. Man. Pay him up. It's now your enemy. Your best friend's your enemy. That sums you up as a human being, like
for real.
And it's especially when you see it from that point of view, where you just have to give him a little bit of money, 50 mil, and he's done. He's happy. But no, you don't care about that, bro. But I'll say, imagine me and you became millionaires from this show. Yeah, you became literally made 10 million pounds a year revenue. You're gonna hook me up, bro.
Man. I'm not break up a people, man. Like, come on, man. You gotta break up some bread, man. Especially when he's involved in the making, in the writing, the chemical and the everything.
How's his coach cool with him? How's his coach cool with him? You know, I think the coach is gonna snap after this one.
Boy, it's too much, man. Like Conor be doing too much, man. You know what I mean? He's crazy, man. He's crazy, man. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, he just needs to fix up, and he needs proper people around him, not yes men. You know what I mean? Like, not people. There's people that need to tell him the truth you know, the direction.
Yeah, they won't last long on the payroll. The truth tellers don't last long on the payroll. So
yeah, man. You know, when you see Conor telling Chandler, you will do as you're told. I guarantee he tells how many people that follows him around. You know what I mean? You do as you fucking told. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I can,
but China's still
you can
waiting.
see it, innit?
Still waiting for that fight. It's sad.
Yeah, man.
I wish Tanner's a G and just said, nah, you know, I'm done. Like, Conor McGregor's beneath me. Like, Ilya Pretore, let's segue to him. Ilya Pretore said, Paddy Plymouth is beneath me. I'll be fighting backwards if I fight this guy. I was like, no, he
bro, he's been calling him out for a while, bro. He's been calling him out for a while.
He got the chance on. He's like, oh no, you're beneath me. I'm not gonna talk about you no more. Like, you know, in politics, the president talk about congressmen, talk about mayors.
You know what I think? I think the matchmakers at the UFC begged him to stop calling up Paddy, man. That's
yeah, if you stop calling out Paddy, we'll give you a title fight after.
I think they begged him. I think they begged him to just keep Paddy's name out of his mouth. Like, bro, just leave the brother alone, man. You know what I mean? That fight ain't gonna happen. You ain't about to ruin our money making. You know what I mean? Our money maker over here, man. You're not fucking getting anywhere near him. You know what I mean? So we'll find the other fights, but Paddy ain't gonna be the one.
I think that fight will never happen. And Fangosh, Dana White can keep Ilya at featherweight as long as he keeps pushing him to a title. But he'll be like, yeah, don't move up, man.
Yeah, man. Big up everybody in the chat, man. I see you lot getting active in the chat. Salute to all of you. Afro Thunder, Snoopy Triple G, Carl Rossi. I see you, man, Dante up in there. Big up to everybody watching right now. And if you're watching live, beg you slap a like on the video. If you're watching on playback, do the same thing. Headbutt that like. You know what I mean? Finger blast.
Do as you're told.
You know what I mean? You do as you're told. You little burns victim of a thing.
You know, China's 4-0 up, bro. Ultimate fighter.
When you see the crazy back and forth that went on between True Jody and Conor. We talked about it the last time, yeah. That obviously Darren Till jumped in and told I said to True Jody, like, what?
Why you winding? Said something about him.
Yeah, like, why are you winding up this brother, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just leave him alone, innit? You can troll him online, but calling him out for a fucking fight is like.
I would love to fight True Jody. I would so badly do it. Like, I don't care if he's bigger than me. I'll probably knock him out quickly. But I know he's a little pissy.
If kicking a man in the balls is part of the fucking is part of the rules, then yeah, maybe.
To take elbows is part of the rules.
and I'll be wearing it. I'll be wearing the fucking steel toe cap shoes as well, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Give me the IV vest to go with you.
Well, yeah, man. What's the next subject, man? There's so much going on next week, this week, last week, week before.
Bro, before we move off the Cannoneer card, because we've just spoken about Ahmed Sarukian, can we talk about what's the ref name? Keith
smoking and drinking whiskey Peterson.
Mr. Peterson. Keith Peterson. Can we talk about? God, we were watching the fight live, yeah. Obviously, we were talking in the fucking. And yeah, we pick Ronnie Lawrence. Let's not get it fucked up. Lawrence was about to fucking tap, bro. He was about to tap. Let's not get it fucked up, man.
Yeah, you're right.
That brother was going to tap. But Ronnie Lawrence got saved by Keith Peterson. And you know what makes my house worse? The worst thing that you could have is making a big old mistake like that. And it's Dominic Cruz on the mic, bro. You know?
Oh, bro. I was like, I haven't seen my Keith forever. I see Cruz. I'm like, why is Keith back when Cruz is back? They don't do this for entertainment value, bro. You know what? Dominic done a lot of direct slander to him. Yeah, but there was one right at the end where he came back for another fight and he let it go on. And the guy was getting beaten up bad. And I was like, you should stop it. I was thinking you should stop it. And Dominic Cruz said, oh, what a wonderful job by Keith Peterson letting him fight it out until the end. And I was like, is that a compliment? Or is he being a dick?
Nah, I think he's being a dick.
And then they asked him later on.
Like, Dominic Cruz ain't got nothing good to say about Keith Peterson, man. You know what I mean?
Man.
I don't think he ever will. And Dominic Cruz, we know he's a straight shooter. He shoots from the hip. He says what he thinks. He said things about DC on how we feel. He just say how we feel, man. You know what I mean?
They wouldn't be friends. I swear down.
Seriously, you know. So Dominic Cruz, we know exactly what he's like when it comes to saying exactly what's on his mind. And but let's talk about that mistake in itself. What was Keith Peterson thinking to drag Lawrence's, wrist to the point where the wrist then elasticated to go and fucking hit the tap, and then he jumped in there to try and stop the tap? Because I watched that sequence so many times to really understood what happened. But tell me from your point of view,
I thought in live time that he thought his arm was going to go down, and then that's it. But then when he saw it go back in, he thought it was a tap rather than. I'm like, no, if you grabbed it and the arm didn't go down and you went back in, then just let it carry on. And I always like 3 taps for some reason. I don't even like 2. Charles only tapped once to Anderson Silva, tap like that, and did it. And he knew he tapped, but I prefer 2 to 3. 3 should be like 2 should be minimum. 3 should be the right number. How was your take, Mr. Analytical? You looked at it so many times. You said,
yeah, for me, I only saw him tap once, and it wasn't even a tap. It was a direct movement of the arm back to the body. So I wouldn't even class that as a tap because Peterson didn't like shake his hand like that. It pulled it. It pulled it one way, while the arm was just there, ready. The arm was there, ready. It was ready to tap. Lawrence was ready to tap, but the arm was the way the arm was, the way Peterson took it, pulled it. The only natural reaction for Lawrence to show that I'm still alive was to try and drag it away from him, but the body was there, so it looked like a tap. But like you said,
we've seen this before.
Minimum 2 taps. I like 2 taps.
Yeah, exactly. Minimum 2. Minimum 2.
Minimum 2.
But we've seen it before, right?
Where always good, but minimum 2.
Where someone's about to tap and you think, is he going to tap? And he fights it like Ferguson against Oliveira.
Yeah.
Like, what? The bread just like, no, I'm not going to tap. Or Nogueira one time against Frank Mir. He's like, no, take my arm. Frank Mir just broke it. I was thinking, wow, like there's some people that, and Ronnie was in that mode. He was thinking, nah, fuck it. I'm not going to tap. Like, or maybe he was going to tap. Who knows? Keith Peterson doesn't. That's who.
Yeah. And bro, we know Lawrence's team, Ronnie's team, they're going to be happy. Yeah, my man's team, they were seething, bro. They were, bro. They look on the corner,
money, bro. The money,
bro. They were, bro. You know what I mean? To nearly get a win like that, and turn into a no contest is crazy. But what about the one other decision in the whole fight? I think it was Hernandez when he does that wrestling move and knocked out my man as he touches the mat.
Hit the mat down,
and just knocked him out. Did you see that as a proper knockout, or do you see it as an accidental head clash?
It was not like the other ones that we've seen. I think it was Andrade versus Rose. There's an older one as well, UFC 4 or 5, where they slammed her from the cage, and I was like, there was some planning in that. But this one was definitely by fluke. There's no way he thought he was gonna slam him down. And maybe he didn't even come straight away to ground and pound if it was limp. But I think it was an accident, man. I think it was a mistake, but it's also a win. Still a win.
Yeah, it's still a win. Obviously, he wanted the knockout. He cried for the knockout. He wanted some kind of bonus for it. Obviously,
they all seem to be hungry for the bonus these days.
Boy, people are hungry. People are hungry, man. You know what I mean? I think that's that untaxed money. You know what I mean? Like that. That's the part that don't really get taxed out of. It's a bonus in it, so it's not going to get taxed. So it's
much more than most people's wages. Most people are on 10-10, 15-15, or 20-20. 50K is more than you're even going to get if you win.
Exactly. And that's money that your manager can't touch, your coaches can't touch, your nutritionist.
Yeah, most people have that, and that's they always say that most people have that in their contracts, like the agent won't touch the bonus, not your team won't touch the bonus.
Yeah, man, that's your bonus is your bonus, man. And that's why a lot of these fighters, and that's why I always prefer the guys that are that are like 10 for 10, 20 for 20. They're the ones getting these sort of bonuses rather than the people that are getting 3 million for a fight. They're getting 100,000 million for a fight, and they're still fucking getting fucking bonuses. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Give the man them that are down there that are fighting 10 for 10, 20 for 20. Give them bonuses, man. You know what I mean? Those are the people that really need those bonuses.
Yeah, the bonuses help them as well. They go ham. They invest into mats. They invest in training gear, more hours of people, travel further. The bonuses help a lot of people. I spoke about it. But yeah, man, what's the next hot topic?
Yeah, obviously last week we didn't really touch on what transpired last week. Last week we got Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Irene Aldana, she did not turn up one bit, bro. She did not show up.
For 1 minute, for 1 second, I believe she did catch her. For 1 second.
It was a crazy one. It was a crazy one in that exchange there to not really put our best foot forward in a title fight that everybody kind of gave her a chance because of what we'd seen happen before. Yeah. And she didn't, she didn't do what she had to do to make it happen. Big up Ian Baron right now. He says, "Hi guys, I'm watching on my sick bed. Unfortunately, damn long COVID symptoms. Feels like my head is burning, bro. We're wishing you speedy recovery, man. Hope you feel better soon, man.
Yeah, man. Try some non-conventional, medicines and different stuff like from cannabis oils to. I'm not a doctor, but I have so many friends that had COVID and they all tried all this crazy shit and it worked. They tried this.
Yeah, man. Boy, try some of this hack. If you've tried everything else, I mean, look. Disclaimer. Naz ain't no physician. He ain't no doctor. You know what I mean? He might look like a doctor. He might look like a doctor, but if he's any kind of doctor, he'll be like Dr. Dre. You know what I mean?
Dr. Herb.
You know what I mean? He ain't gonna be that kind of doctor, man. So Ian Baron, don't take his word for it, but just dropping a little bit of disclaimer, you know what I mean?
We see the man in China and India, bro. They live to like 100 years old, bro. Never get ill and shit. I'm like, what? And you find out what they're taking. You're like, what's this oil? What's this seed? What's this black seed oil? What's this next little juice they're drinking, bro? The man's ahead of the curve.
And Leroy just said here, I like it when Dana gives everyone who gets to finish a bonus. It always feels like a good moment. Yeah,
he loves doing that in London. He gives like he loves English people. And actually, half of you get 50k bonus.
It goes ham with it, doesn't it? You know what I mean? You want bonus? It moves like Arsenal, man. You know what I mean? You want 3 points? You want 3 points? You want 60 million? Oh, Kai Havertz. Oh, yeah. Here's 60. You want it?
You might have thrown that out. We'll take it, man. That's what it's like, man.
You know what I mean? You might got your fucking bonus for fucking Arsenal. That's 60 fucking million for fucking Kai Havertz.
Like, don't forget the Saudi money.
I don't know. I don't know what world we're living in, man. Fucking paying 60 million.
They don't always say, "Oh, these Saudis ain't stupid." And I'm like, bro, the way they be moving with their cricket, golf, boxing, like they want MMA there as well. Like, Abu Dhabi beat them to that. They're moving. They want PFL. I won't put it past them. If Saudi got PFL, bro, they're moving different when it comes to sports.
Yeah, man. So let's get back to the topic. Let's get back to the topic real quick. That Amanda Nunes, Irene Aldana. But forget we saw what the fight brought. We did a watch along to it. But what's your take on the aftermath of the fight when it's come to Amanda Nunes retiring, with Juliana Pena actually sitting cage side, shouting boos, gone on interviews saying Amanda retired because she's scared of her? Like, bro. Is she being delusional, or she's trying to enter, or she's trying to be a heel moving forward? Because now she's the next one in the division like that, you know what I mean? So, there's going to be a vacant title, and I think she's one half of that vacant title. What do you think?
No, it'll be good if she continues calling out Nunes. It'll be good if she wins the title. It'll be good because it's the only way we get Nunes out of it. And like, if Julia Pena just loses the title, honestly, all the ratings for this really low-rated division is all going to drop. There'll be no more pay-per-views for women, like maybe Shevchenko versus Wei Lee, something like that. There won't be main event and no pay-per-views. So the women's division needs Pena to win, keep being vocal, get her out of retirement when she's older and less trained, takes a break, a bit more rusty. But if Pena doesn't win this, the division's going to take a nosedive, bro. I mean, featherweight's gone already, so that division's going to take a nosedive at bantamweight. Who do you think Aldana will fight? Who do you think Julia Pena will fight? It's not going to be Aldana. Who would Julia Pena fight?
For Pena,
no one even knows. No one really cares.
I would say maybe a Raquel Pennington.
I knew you'd say that.
You know, yeah, man. Big up J Hop, man. I'm Muay Thai J right there, man. You get me? Those are my peoples. You get me? You got to put them in the frame.
In the interview or something, man. Hopefully she gets it. She done the Kobe. She should get the Kobe
bro,
love.
she was the backup for this backup,
That's
so it's only right. She was the backup. She made weight.
She made weight as well.
She was ready to go. You know, so and I think for her to even embark on trying to make weight and being the backup, that would have been in some kind of there would have been some kind of clause, you know, in the contract to say, you know what, if you do this, when the next opportunity comes up, you know, then you know we're gonna give you the chance. So I would say yeah, it's probably Pena and Raquel Pennington.
And then after that, Aldana or whoever might beat her comes in. They got at least another 2 fights, and
yeah, maybe Aldana and say Lauren Murphy could try and go at it.
Lauren Murphy, man, she was one of the older Ultimate Fighters, the first women's one, I believe. She's been about.
Yeah, man. You know, maybe them two could dance and try and get back in for number one contender. And until while all of that's going on, give Shevchenko another chance at Grasso. And whether she does it or doesn't do it, she can come up to 135 and dance for the title as well. And maybe this way she will really realize, you know, her dream of being champ, you know, simultaneously while holding the 125 belt, and then she can get the 135 belt as well. She goes up there and beats whoever is the champion up there, which I think she's capable of doing. If you went Amanda, that was a champion for so long, I think Shevchenko probably would have been champion.
I mean, if she fights from a year now, she'll be a year older, which is not really healthy in that division. But either way, yeah, she'll be in this because of namesake. But let's move on to the people's main event, man.
Yeah, man.
We actually wanted to really
Darush and Oliveira, man. Darush and Oliveira, bro. You again. This is another one that you saw coming. Big up, Luke Michael. We watched the fight with Luke Michael.
Yeah.
It was a good night. It was a good night of watch along. Salute to Luke Michael, 185 EFC champ. And even he said at the time that boy is Oliveira losing it. Is Dude Bronx on his way out? Is he getting washed? And Dude Bronx said, "Hold my beer." Dude Bronx said, "Hold my beer, man." Talk to me about that fight, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, at 33, I was like, this bro is far from done for. Took a long break, and it wasn't like he got a mad injury. He got a little injury, I think. It wasn't like a broken leg like Benil. It was. I was just thinking, and his mentality was like that last fight didn't happen. Like, I went to a country. It was like a dream. I went to another dimension. I was never showed up that day. I was like, yeah, cool. Just don't fight in Abu Dhabi again, I guess. You know, even though I think you've competed in the Abu Dhabi Open when you were younger. But I digress. He didn't show up there. He shouldn't show up there again if he does get a rematch. But I knew Benil wouldn't be able to beat the Oliveira we've seen before. But I didn't think it'll be this easy. I didn't think break through his guard. You know, I didn't think he'll land the strong straight rights hard. I didn't think on the ground he'll be able to negate his ground and pound so easily and get up. Actually felt like it. You know, but Benil bust up, come back, man.
Yeah, man. For me, I maintain my stance with my take on the fight when I first saw it. I just felt Benil got overzealous in Dubrox's guard. Like I said, I was saying it during the fight. I said it afterwards. I've never seen a man that wants to be in Dubrox's guard so much. It was almost like he was trying to prove something that if Islam can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? But like Dubrox was fighting off his back. He was fighting well off his back, and there were moments in that little time that that they had the exchange on the ground that Benil had to get back up, reset yourself.
He went back down,
and then you know what I mean. He just went right back in it, and I thought, what are you doing? You know, like get out.
He tried to land the Henderson punch, like when you're along the ground and the big one, it goes through. Yeah, that one there's enough.
Bro, I didn't understand what he was trying to do. It didn't look good at all. It was just too eager. It was too, you know what I mean? He was too overzealous with it, and that's For me, that's what really done him. And by the time Oliveira switched it on him, he got back on top. Darush had nothing for Oliveira. He had
Darush blocked the
absolutely
kick.
nothing for him.
He blocked the kick and it still just shaked him.
Yeah.
Not meant to block high kicks.
Big up to Do Bronx, man. He's not earned that rematch with Islam. That's gonna happen.
I hope he doesn't take it in Abu Dhabi. He has no chance there.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen in Abu Dhabi. That fight's gonna be happening
no
over there. And it's something I would have liked it to be in Brazil, because then it'll be 1-for-1 on either side, because obviously Do Bronx has been over to Abu Dhabi to fight Islam. Did say, you know what, I will pay you back if you work yourself to a rematch. If you want to do it in Brazil, we'll go over there and do it. So I don't know what UFC is trying to do, but it seems the direction that they're going in, by all intents and purposes, it looks like it's going to be happening at in Abu Dhabi. So let's wait and see what happens with that one. And the last topic that we've got to talk about, Izzy's been doing a media tour, and he's been talking about how he wants you to lose to Dricos, bruv. You know what I mean? It's, because he was that friend.
And he doesn't even hate me.
He wants you to lose, man. He wants you to lose.
He doesn't hate Rob. He just wants it for Drake's sake. He wants to fight him. He's like, I'll hope Rob loses this one. He can win the next 3 in a row and fight me later. I want to fight Drakus. I want it to be in Africa, hopefully. He's asking way too much, man. And Drakus is so crazy. He'll take the fight in Australia in 8 weeks' notice. Rob already said no. Drakus is like, yeah, if I knock him out, I'm taking the fight in 8 weeks. If I decision him, I'm taking the fights in 8 week notice against my man in Australia, which is
it's gonna be a mad one still, because it's an opportunity, and if you're in shape and if you don't take too much damage, like what Dricos is talking about, if he doesn't take too much damage, then why not take the chance? Look, I've said it so many times. I love fighters that stay in shape and they're able to take quick turnaround fights. You know what I mean? They can get right back in it. They're already in shape. You don't have to cut too much weight.
But it depends how the fight goes, though.
Depends how the fight goes, because if you go and end up in the fight and you get medical suspensions and everything, you're not coming back in. If the commission is giving you,
especially after Jared Gordon, like they're gonna be extra. Like, okay, let's look at these fighters now.
Yeah, exactly that. But for the training that I've seen Dricos doing, and I've been seeing him working, I've been seeing him doing a lot of work in the background. CIT, they're preparing him hard. Code Monvi.
I'm gonna throw this fight away for Israel. I'm gonna lose the fight purpose. Let Adesanya fight Drakus, rack off 3 more wins, and be back in there when he's an old bastard. That's what Winkler should do, because Israel's not old enough yet. He's like 2 years away from being kind of slower, older. He's like 1-2 years left in his prime. What is he, 34, is it, or 35 even?
Yeah, he's nearing them.
Everyone's always shocked when they see Israel in his age. They're always like, what? He's 30 something. He's 34. He's 33.
Yeah, but he looks younger than he actually is.
Of course, man. His skin is stretched out, bro. He's got that baby skin looking. South Africa versus Nigeria.
That's that nice gene, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I'm actually liking Dricos's preparation for this Whittaker fight. He's taking it very, very seriously. His team, they're putting in the work. I see Yako Duplessis, salute to Yako. You know what I mean? Jay Botha, all of them putting in work. Cameron, they're all putting in work in the gym, man. They're trying to get this brother ready. They're trying to get him ready for the biggest opportunity of his life, man. And
man, I can't wait for this fight.
This fight is gonna be. It's gonna be
5 weeks left.
Yeah, we're not too far out, man. We're not too far out. I think about 5 weeks. We're not too far out, man. You know what I mean? This fight is a big one. It's a big one, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, man. Because I like these two brothers, and I like what they bring to the table, their approach to the fight, and all that good stuff. They say Sean Strickland is back training with Alex Pereira. I mean, for somebody that knocked you out, why you keeping your hands down, bro? You know what I mean? Like, we know Sean Strickland ain't gonna be going to 205 no more, man. But I don't know how Pereira is helping Sean Strickland, or Strickland is helping Pereira. Like, what part? What could they be helping each other about, Naz? Tell me. Let me see if you got any insight to what this
All
could
I
be
could
helping
think,
each
Sean
other.
Strickland is telling him, like, in America, you have the right to do this. Here's a gun. You have the right to have a gun. You know, if a fucking Karen talks to you, tell the fuck out.
Oh my god,
Bro, he's too much. You got to ride a motorbike here. He's just 100% pure American asshole. And we
yeah,
love
man,
him.
you don't need a rucksack, man. Just put your fucking gym gear in the pillowcase, man. I come to the
He's
fucking
always
gym.
got a giant little case like that.
You've got
Oh,
pillowcase.
man. And he's at every gym. Do you see what he done with Bilal Muhammad the other day? He took a picture, like, this guy just showed up here. I was like, Bilal Muhammad's in the back, like, why are you recording me, bro?
Oh god. I mean,
Not
look at
sure.
Leroy. Look at Leroy here, man. Trying to find out who we got. You'll find out on the preview night, man. On the preview night, you know what I mean. That's where you're gonna find out who we really got, man. You know what I mean. But until then, it's all
Yeah,
fucking.
it's a toughie. Who's Sean
It's all
Strickland
talking.
fighting?
It's,
He's
huh?
fighting some random person. Him and Paulo Costa are fighting some random Russian murderers. Like, I'm like, why do you do this risks?
Serious. And
Middleweight, bro.
Leroy just said here, Dricos has nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's gonna be a tough fight for Naz.
I said I'm throwing it away. I responded. I said I'm throwing this fight away just to see Nigeria versus South Africa. Bro, you should get easy on, man. I'll let him, man. Call one of his relatives, bro, or something, man. Get the link, fam. Find the way. Say you're Nigerian, bro.
Let's talk about one last one real quick, man. Just one more last topic before we
Yeah. Who's that?
Big up Drew in the house. Salute to you. Triple C, my boy Triple C. My boy Triple C is all up in the news. He's fighting Chito Vera next. It looks like that's what they're going to be. Looks like that's what they're going to be working on, and it looks like Chito Vera is the next one on the paperwork for him.
I love this fight.
But boy, Cejudo don't want no part of that, man. He wants to fight Brandon Moreno. He wants to fight Baby Assassin. He wants to fight for that strawweight, for that flyweight title, bro. What's your take on all of that? You know, for the Chito Vera fight or Brandon Moreno? What would you like to see?
No, I definitely want to see the Chito Vera one. I just love this fight all over. I think if Brandon Moreno did move up, he'll get beaten by both of them. And Henry Cejudo can't even make bantamweight. You know, he's definitely coming in 136. Well, remember these words there. He's coming in 136, and definitely not 135, because he's allowed that 1 pound. He'll take it this time.
Yeah.
And Chito, he's definitely realized, like, Chito's biggest weakness, Sanderhagen wrestled him for a bit. Aldo wrestled him to win that last round. Before they got wrestled 1 fighters. But he's not a good, like, he's you know, even if he finds ways to win sometimes when he gets wrestled, if he has 5 rounds, he's not a good wrestler. And you can't just learn wrestling like that, especially with his coaching staff. You know, Jason Peruno is mainly a striker coach, but I just think Henry's seen this as an easy fight. But Chito knows, I got 5 minutes, and over the 5 minutes, he could have me 80% on the floor. Even if I have that 20% of the 5 minutes, 5 rounds, he could still do enough damage in 1 minute round. I think he will hurt Henry a lot. He'll leave marks on his face, he'll leave marks on his body, but Henry will still, you know, be damping all over him like a wet blanket, and he'll just squeak out a decision. I'm gonna see how the fight goes on, and I'll have to watch the little countdowns, breakdowns, and other stuff. But Chito Vera, man, I really like him, bro. He's from the Brisbane camp, man. To be honest, I was hoping he could fight for the title one day, but
yeah, man. I like
give him Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, man. I like Chito Vera. I like that fight actually. The Cejudo.
They both came off a loss.
Yeah, I mean, they're both gonna need that, and if Cejudo takes this fight, it will show me how serious he is. Because to me, at the end of that fight there with Aljo, it looked like he was about to hang it up. It looked like he was about to put the gloves down. But for some reason, you know what I mean? It scared me a little bit there. Like, he
saw a circus. He saw a circus. And he's like, wait a minute, let me join the circus. Like, I'm technically a backup fighter. If something happens, Chito ain't getting the title shot. It's going to be Henry. Sorry, Chito. That's how they're going to do it. They're giving someone else. They're going to give Henry. So, you know, if Sean fakes an injury like he does sometimes, you know, Aldo's gonna be Aljo. Well, actually, if Sean gets injured, Aljo must likely fight Chito Vera. That'd be weird though.
That'll probably be the next one up, because Chito Vera actually did beat Sean. So you know what I mean?
Yes, I remember that.
It would make sense for the matchmakers to put him up there, especially if this fight happens and he gets past Cejudo for whatever reason. Shito's definitely next in line for.
100%.
You know what I mean? He definitely.
I go as far as to say whoever loses fight will never get a title shot again.
Yeah. So it'd be an interesting one to see. And we have come to the end of the show, people. Salute to everyone for joining us. People that has joined us from the get-go. Please hit that like button. People that are watching on playback, that watch to the end, watching on playback, please hit that like button us as well. And come join us on Friday for our preview show for the Ilya Tapura.
Yeah. I might actually be doing a watch along for this fight because it's nice and early. Might just set up a watch along. I've got one other brother that wants to jump on. Yeah. And then if you guys want to jump in, you, Jordan, or Will, anyone's free because it starts at like 6 or 5 p.m. and it ends at around 12 midnight.
I definitely got family engagement for that day, but I'll be in the chat. I'll be in the chat. So we'll get our boy to make a thumbnail. Put a thumbnail together for you. And
the Georgian gangster in Spain versus the old vet knockout artist.
It's gonna be a mad one. Still, it'll be a nice one. It'll be a nice one to watch. So come join us on Friday. Come join us for the watch along, like Naz just said here. So Friday we're gonna be doing the prediction show. Saturday the watch along will be on. So come join us for that, people. And everybody that's joined us, everybody that's on this journey with us, salute to all of you, man. We love you, man. We don't take your viewership for granted, man. Salute to everybody that's always showing love. Big up to all of you. And up onto the next video, we're out. Salute.
Yo, guys, this is Adrian Yanez telling you to use those handles. Hit